Ladies and gentlemen, this will be a short but very informative video if you hold SoFi stock, okay? Part of the debt ceiling agreement between President Joe Biden and Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy was the fact that student loan forgiveness, not the forgiveness, but actually the pause, was part of the debate. Kevin McCarthy did not want this part of the bill, and so he scratched it, okay? The funny thing is, Joe Biden agreed, okay? Because we're coming very close to the default, which should be on June 5th. This is the default for the entirety of the United States. If the debt ceiling does not get raised, well, we can't pay our lenders. Now, there are a myriad of different steps that have to happen before this thing actually gets finished. One of them being it going through the House of Representatives. It has already been approved. This happened yesterday, okay? Then the bill, like it says here, the House passed it on Wednesday. Listen to this though, guys. 149 Republicans voted along with 165 Democrats. But this was a very Republican bill, putting in a lot of things that Kevin McCarthy thought were important if you are a conservative, right? One of them being student loans. And yet it was passed, let me see if I can find it, to a vote of 314 to 117. So very, very in favor, because more than anything, you know, the United States defaulting on their loans would be way, way worse than having a couple of conservative bills get passed. Now, this is the article for why I'm making the video. Now we actually go to the Senate, and the Senate is racing to vote on this debt ceiling deal as soon as tonight, okay? Now, there is a couple other stipulations. Let's actually go through the article. A final vote on the debt ceiling bill is trending more towards tomorrow, but he's staying away from actually, you know, an agreement on timing, because obviously these are something that we can't actually fully understand. Now, all 100 senators will need to agree to speed up consideration of this measure, and the amendment votes are meant to get the entire chamber on board. If even one senator objects, the final vote could be pushed to as late as Wednesday, June 7th, 2 days past the deadline. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer said, you know, the Senate floor opened on Thursday morning, urging a quick passage of the bill, and no one's going home until it finishes. This is exactly what this says right here, okay? Time is a luxury the Senate does not have, and if we want to prevent default, June 5th is less than 4 days away. They'll stay in session until the bill is passed. Crazy. But, I mean, it is important. That's why the majority of people actually rush to get this bill through. Not everyone's happy, though. Senator Mike Lee here said he's calling the debt ceiling bill a deal from hell. He said he'll file multiple amendments, but this won't be just for the sake of holding up the deal. One of the important parts, though, is that a lot of people are actually having problems with other amendments that aren't the student loans. Amendments to remove a provision in the deal that would expedite the approval of a natural gas pipeline. Okay, that has nothing to do with student loans. So even if something were to happen where it does get, amended and things get pushed back, at least knowing that student loans are not on the table at this point. Really, it's definitely on the bottom of the totem pole. Lastly, at this point, any needless delay or any last-minute holdups would be an unnecessary or even dangerous risk. Any chance to this bill that forces us to send it back to the House would be entirely unacceptable. It would almost guarantee default. Very, very important. I have one last thing to show you guys, and this is how far or how much that the Senate is even voting that they are kind of done with student loans in general. And this is the fact that the Senate votes to repeal Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. This is not even part of it. So right now they're arguing about the pause, but the actual $400 billion that Joe Biden wants to wipe away, $10,000 for people making under $125,000, $20,000 for people with Pell Grants, they want to even take this away. Now, it's important to know that there needs to be at least 66% of the actual voters in order to allow Biden to not veto the act. This simply didn't happen. The legislation passed with a vote of 52 to 46. So it was a majority, just not large enough to the point where, you know, this will actually get pushed through. I'm sure Joe Biden will just turn that away, and that's the end of that. All in all, if you want all of the details that are covering how this actually impacts SoFi and what this could possibly mean, check out this video right here. But aside from that, this is just a small update to say this is looking very positive for SoFi and why the stock is probably rising on all of this news.